Hello, I'm Cameron, with my guest star here, Caleb. Today we will be discussing, well, my top 10 anime characters. Caleb will have his own list on his own channel sometime soon.
Yes.
But, before we start the video, we wanted to lay down some ground rules. Well, these rules only apply to my channel, Caleb has his own rules.
My rules are much more strict.
Yes. I do not have actually that much of a vocabulary of anime, as there's not that many I actually watched or at least completed.
Whereas I've watched over 200 anime.
Yeah, I've watched maybe 20. So since that, my lists usually don't consider the rule of only one character per series in a list. I usually make it only a maximum of two, though. I would only include in this list, for example, a two from per series.
Also, you might notice I'm wearing Transformer pajamas. Aren't they awesome?
Why would you be even? No. Yes, they had the animated movie that was great, but still. Anyway, let's get on with the list.
Okay.
Number 10, Zabuza Momochi from Naruto.
I really like this guy.
Yeah. First point of why we like him, he is a ninja that can use a great sword. And yes, I do know the Japanese name for it, but I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I'll probably mess it up.
Here's my opinion on a ninja with great sword. Ninjas are already silent but deadly. But what if you're silent and great sword deadly?
Yes, and that's why we like him. He can still be stealthy while using it. It's even one of the main points of why he's so feared, is because he can use a giant, I'm gonna assume it's 7 feet long, greatsword, and he can still be stealthy with it.
Yeah, it is as tall as a normal person, actually. I'd say about 6 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet, but
Yeah.
still. And he can hold it in one arm for great amounts of time. He's strong enough that he can use it with one hand.
Which is just hilarious if you think about it.
Another reason why we like him is actually his will. When he spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
This list will have spoilers. When he's brought back from the dead by Kabuto in the Great Shinobi War, did they say it was the fourth? Yeah, it was the fourth. The fourth Great Shinobi War. First thing he does when he comes back to life is pretty much comment that he hates it. He hates that he's being forced to work for someone who would stoop so low as to use the undead. Later on, when him and his comrades get quote unquote blown up, he also comments that he hates the fact that they've been made invincible because they've been given regenerative abilities.
He doesn't like being used.
He doesn't like being used. So, and then eventually what happens is that he's able to kind of fight off the jutsu long enough to stand still to basically let them kill him because of he hates it that much that he's using his will to fight through that jutsu. Kind of like Itachi, except Itachi had to use his own Genjutsu, which is hilarious because he hit a crow inside Naruto and then he just barfs it up.
Yeah, but it's a good thing you put him as number 10 because there are a few problems with the Zabuza character.
That is true.
I mean, he showed up at the very beginning of the Naruto series, and then he lost at the very beginning of the Naruto series. This is back when Naruto was just a snot-nosed brat with literally no skill whatsoever. He didn't even have Rasengan.
But in his defense, it was not the team that could beat him. Only Kakashi could touch him. Naruto and Sasuke could not do anything to him. And I believe that if they tried to fight him at that point, they would have died.
And yet Naruto's still the one to get a bridge named after him. What a little bitch.
But it's Naruto. How can you not love his whiskered face? Seriously,
the child whiskered the face. The child is an asshole. The older version is okay.
I know he has the Nine-Tailed Fox inside him, but why does he have whiskers? Anyway,
I think it's just an Uzumaki thing.
We're getting off topic. Anyway, But the other thing is that a lot of people also don't like him because he did seem like kind of an ass. But like for example, Haku blocks an attack for him, which ends up in Haku dying because well Chidori through the chest. You're dead.
Respect, girlish boy, Haku. Respect.
Yes. Anyway, and then Zabuza, as if you've watched it, proceeds to he cuts through Haku to try to hit Kakashi. But as we see, he truly kind of does like Haku and enjoyed his company, etc., etc. I'm not gonna go over much of that, but it's also noted that if you watch closely, he hesitates. It's only for a second, but he does hesitate before doing it because he didn't really want to. But realizing that Haku's already pretty much dead on his feet, decided to try to at least finish off the most dangerous opponent.
Failed.
But he also gets props on my case because at the end, because Naruto gives him a little speech, because Naruto's that guy that gives speeches, and the enemy's like, oh my god, my feels.
Still don't know how that works.
Anyway, he then proceeds to, even though both his arms are essentially useless, he picks up a kunai in his mouth and then goes and, well, kills the actual boss asshole there. Anyway, Zabuza Mochi, number 10. Moving on. Number 9.
Death the Kid.
He loves Death the Kid. I love Death the Kid. You probably love Death the Kid.
If you don't love Death the Kid, close the video right now.
Don't have to be so mean.
The X button over there. It's right over there. Click it. I'm pointing at it right now.
Caleb. Okay. First point to why we love Death the Kid is he loves symmetry. Seriously, the first time he's introduced, he almost lets himself get killed by a mummy because the thing is perfectly symmetrical. But the second he notices that it's not, he obliterates it. He kills it so hard that doesn't the pyramid they're in completely collapse? Yeah, the pyramid they're in completely collapses. And even though he's been drilled by, well, bandages from the mummy, the next scene he's perfectly fine as if he never got hit. Like, well, that attack.
He is the son of death.
That's also another point. He's literally the son of death. Or, well,
if you didn't get it from the name.
Son is kind of a weird term due to the fact that his existence really comes from his dad reproduced asexually. Let's say that. Let's put it like that.
Is weird.
Hey, it's death. Of course he's weird. I don't think he could have children normally if he wanted to.
Maybe
it's like that.
Found a girl. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be like that one, like from Family Guy? The Reaper can't get any girls because the second he touches them, they die.
Well, he could just. Well, he's the fucking Reaper, and we don't know the limits of his powers. He could probably just make sperm cut off his fucking hand.
Okay, we're gonna actually get on with actual points of why we like his kid, not death. Symmetry, the fact that he is the son of death. Another reason I love him, his weapons. He flat out uses guns, and later on in his ultimate form, they merge and become a giant cannon. It's a death cannons. And also how he has the problem with his guns because their actual human forms are not the same. He tries so hard to make them the same, but one's taller and one's shorter. And
one's blonde, one's brunette.
And
one has bigger boobs.
The shorter one has bigger boobs and the taller one doesn't, so it's one of those situations.
You just can't live with it. You also can't live with his hair.
Yeah, I actually love that because they use that against him once. It's like, oh, you have symmetry so much? Well, look at your hair. And he got all depressed. He's just like, I know, my hair is not symmetrical.
He asked them to kill him.
Yeah, he's hilarious like
it's pretty bad.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
Number 8, Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. obviously.
I actually never watched Dragon Ball, any of them.
Caleb never watched Dragon Ball,
I
so
really
yeah.
didn't want to, but I have watched the abridged, so props to Team Formstar.
Yes, props to Team 4-Star. Also, in our last video, you may have noticed we actually made a few references.
My video.
So, his video, yes. We made a few references, so credit to them, because if you've watched the abridged, you probably could tell what the jokes are.
They're awesome.
Yes, they are truly awesome. Can't wait for the next episode.
And
anyway,
Vegeta in the Team 4-Star bridge is awesome too.
his
If the
ra-
actual
his-
show Vegeta is like that, I might actually watch the show. Is he like that at all?
Somewhat.
Really?
Just more serious.
Oh, well then, I'm not watching.
His rage broke the video. That's the best. Anyway, actual reasons why we actually like him in the actual anime. The first point. The way I love it when bad guys actually slowly progress to being good. I truly do love that. And Vegeta's an excellent case of that. First, arc of Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta is literally the main bad guy. He is the one that is the villain. Like, Piccolo shows up, you're thinking, oh, Piccolo's gonna do his thing again, because at this point, he was still a bad guy. But most people didn't watch the original Dragon Ball, so they don't know that, which is actually a joke Team 4-Star made. But anyway, Piccolo is not the bad guy here.
Wait, Cameron.
What?
Look. What? It's a hair on the thing, like the screen we're recording on. There's a hair. Get it off.
What?
It's just a hair. It's still there. I gotta take it off.
What?
Okay,
how can you be so picky at? Okay, off topic. Anyway, back to Vegeta, because apparently my friend can't handle one hair on our monitor. Back to Vegeta. Like I said, I love it when bad guys become good guys. So honestly, I would love Vegeta because in the end, he goes from being the ultimate bad guy to pretty much being very, very good. Like he almost kills everyone. Well, I say almost because Nappa actually is the one that killed them all.
Damn you, Nappa!
But Goku says, Krillin, let him go. There's no point in killing him. Not killing him won't bring anyone back. Now, I know it's not exactly what he probably said, but that's along the lines of what he did say. Next point is his sacrifice against Boo. Here's where he shows how good of a father he is. And because in his dying moments, all he does is he holds his son and basically tells him he's proud of him and he loves him without actually saying so. What the hell are you doing? Get back there.
I can't say anything else. I want to do something. And staring at the people
Then
on the other side of the
then
screen.
fiddle with your fingers. He tells his son that he basically is proud of him and he loves him without actually saying so. And then proceeds to blow himself up in an attempt to actually save the whole planet from Majin Buu. So he gets props for that. But my favorite scene with Vegeta is, like we've already said before, spoilers for almost all of these shows, is when Cell comes back to life because he blew himself up and then came back somehow. I don't know. Bullshit, I guess. He kills Trunks. He immediately kills Trunks by blasting him with a laser through the chest.
Who's Trunks?
Trunks is Vegeta's son, who
Oh.
came back from the future to help them. I forgot that you knew. But Cell kills him. Vegeta, at this point, has never shown any affection for Trunks, and basically shows that he doesn't love him. But the second Trunks actually dies, Vegeta goes into a rage and charges Cell, knowing that he has no chance of actually stopping him. He knows he cannot win. But like I would say any parent would do, just watch their child die, they would fight no matter what. He fights Cell no matter what.
Does Cell die?
No. He
Well.
takes a good, I'm gonna say it's a few hundred hits. He literally stands there and lets Vegeta blast him a few hundred times.
I was
Literally
worried there for a second you
unscratched.
were going to say he's alive for a few hundred episodes.
No. But then, once Vegeta started blasting him, Cell one-shots him. He literally basically kicks him. I think he breaks his neck or something. I don't remember. All I know is Vegeta was knocked out in one hit.
Well, that's a lot of bullshit.
Next on our list. Number 7, Kakashi Aratake from Naruto. Caleb knows a lot about this character, and I can assume this is one of his favorite characters too. I know he's one of mine. Yes. Our first point on why we love him is the secrecy behind his face. The fact that they never show his face, no matter what. And they even dedicated an episode where the kids were trying to actually uncover his face, and in the end, they couldn't do it.
Does he have buck teeth? Does he have giant lips?
I would assume not, because as we see, anytime his mask is undone, people fall in love with him. So we could assume
so beautiful.
we could assume that he's literally probably the most handsome dude ever.
Which is why he has to wear the mask.
Yes.
For fear of the entire town falling in love with him and chasing after him just for his affection, including the guys.
Exactly.
Because it would cause mass mayhem, and everyone would suffer.
Exactly. The other reason we love Kakashi is his background. The whole how he was hated, he kind of rose above it, kept trying to get stronger. He became the first. What was it? Wasn't it? Genin? No, it was Chunin. But I forget how the ranks work. He was basically a rank above.
Genin, Chunin, Jonin.
Jonin. He was the first Jonin in his class. He got there a lot faster than the rest, so he was significantly stronger. Also, the other reason we love his background is, well,
Want me to explain the background?
Yes, Caleb actually knows a lot more about this. I'll let him do it.
He was an ass. He was a true and utter ass to his friend Obito. Actually, back then, they weren't even friends. But then, Obito eventually got to him. They were on a mission. The girl that they both, well, I'm pretty sure they both liked, was about to get killed. And they went off to save her. And then Obito saved his life, and he became indebted to him. In fact, declared him as his best friend.
Also, Obito gave him his Sharingan.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Then they went into the cave. They saved her. And then the cave was blown up around them. Rocks fell down, crushed half of Obito's face. And from the remaining part of it, Obito gave him his Sharingan. That's where Kakashi got the Sharingan. And, well, let's just say, he's never been the same since. Now, after that, he became part of the Anbu. Then, he had to kill Rin, but he didn't want to. In fact, he wasn't going to until she ran in front of his Chidori and kind of gutted herself on it.
She threw herself in front of him.
Yeah.
By the way, Obito was watching that exact moment. Yeah, so that turned bad very quickly.
Yeah, Obito was still alive. This caused a lot of problems in the future. Anyway, he became Anbu. Then it became quite clear that the Anbu was just making him more and more vicious. So they had to stop this. So the third Hokage made him a teacher instead.
Oh, this is where it gets hilarious.
The first group that he was in charge of got fighting amongst themselves. He put them back into the academy after yelling at them and beating them up. Second group, they had no real structure or teamwork. They just listened to what they were told, and that's about it. So he sent them back to the academy after yelling at them a lot. And the third group, Naruto's group.
The first group to actually succeed by his standards.
Yes, they did fight kinda a lot, but they didn't do it as much as the first group. And they passed the whole helping each other test. So that got him passed. And that's what started the series. So now you know why Kakashi is the way he is. It's because Obito. And then Obito went crazy.
But Obito, also love how Obito basically
Oh yeah, and he knew Itachi.
he fucked himself over because because by giving Kakashi his Sharingan, he gave everyone the one way they could actually attack him. It's irony. And yes, you're hungry. On with the next one.
Number 6. Grimmjow.
Yes, we realize the irony that this came out to be. Grimmjow Jackerjax, or Jaegerjax.
Don't try to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, just call him Grimmjow, please. Anyway, first point on why we like him. His actual look. He just looks, in my opinion, like a badass. His hair, which I'm pretty sure is impossible to pull off in real life. The way that he just walks around with open jacket, it's like, I don't care, come at me.
He's the cool guy character.
Basically, yes, he's the cool guy character. We basically all know it.
And we all know that the cool guy character doesn't ever survive long.
Unfortunate. Well, it's debatable whether he's alive or not. It's in the manga, it's shown it's a possibility, but they haven't actually shown if he's alive yet. But there are some clues that he might be. Yeah. But that's not the topic of the commentary. Second point of why we like him is the actual, I'll call it, synergy between him and Ichigo. The way they balance off of each other, they fight, and the whole Ichigo just wants to protect his friends and whatnot, but Grimmjow basically hates everything Ichigo represents and just constantly wants to fight him.
I've always thought of them to be pretty much exactly the same, only one's more hollow than the other.
Well, Grimmjow, as far as we see, doesn't really give a shit about his comrades.
Well, his comrades are assholes.
His comrades are assholes.
Except for Ukiara, who he hangs out with.
And plus, the only reason he killed Luffy was a cunt. He was literally an asshole. And
who's Luffy again?
He was the one that replaced him, and then the second Grimmjow got his arm back because of Orihime. He killed him because he wanted his position back.
It was hilarious.
Because seriously, I know that he probably had a lot of strength, but how was he one of the Arrancar over the others? Their abilities are much better than his. His ability, tentacles with spikes. Are you kidding me?
Not to mention number 10. Number 10 is bullshit. Number 10 is so much bullshit.
Or number 0, as they pulled.
You take away the 1 from 10, he is now above the rest. He is so much bullshit.
I find that bull.
It is bull.
I honestly think that the other top 4, they could have killed him.
Yes,
they wouldn't give him time to transform. They could kill him before he actually got to the point where
I would have watched as Stark just blew his fucking brains out.
Because in all honesty, the only reason anyone has a problem with him, he has so much muscle mass built up that it's so hard to cut him. Like Ichigo just blocks one of his attacks. Maiju he literally just stops one of his backhand fists.
Couldn't stop the other ones though, could he?
And then because Ichigo realized that fighting Kenpachi, he was screwed.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then Ichigo just gets a Katensho right down his shoulder, pummeling him into the ground. Mind you, this guy's like Godzilla size, so being pummeled into the ground is not easy.
It would seem Kenpachi can take out Godzilla. Did you guys know that?
Shh, it's Kenpachi. Of course he can.
All hail the Kenpachi.
But anyway, off from Yami, back to Grimmjow. Like I said, the synergy between them, the way that they fight and how they seem so equally matched, or you could kind of say that Grimmjow is still a bit stronger, but in the end, Ichigo did pull out winning. And it's just the way he's I find it hilarious. He's a cat. He's a cat. He's a cat. It's hilarious.
Let me go get a reference points for you.
What? Oh, hold on. He apparently is. He's a. Yeah. I was actually surprised that he never actually just used his tail to bitch slap someone. It would have been hilarious.
He is a cat.
He is a cat, but blue.
So take this, turn it blue. You have Grimmjow.
Alright. Anyway, on with our list. Next one.